have two easy winners for the College Football Playoff Semifinals, and I'm going to give them to you for free in this video. And one of the plays is a $10,000 play. I just gave you guys three big winners in the quarterfinals. Gave you guys Ole Miss, which won outright. Gave you guys Indiana minus 7.5, and also gave you guys UM plus 10.5, which also won outright. Now, all I ask for in return, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys have been watching for a long time, please share the show with a couple buddies that like the sports bet. I'm going to give you guys two big winners. That way you guys can learn exactly why I'm taking this. And along with that, too, you're going to make some money in return. So please share the show. I don't run ads. I don't put sponsors on the show because I find it annoying when I'm watching a show and they interrupt it with an ad. I'm not going to do that to you guys, so please share the show and let's get to the money. Now, before we start off with the analysis team, 1-0 to start the year. I'm recording this January 2nd. Hopefully you guys get this today or tomorrow, depending on how fast this gets edited. But ultimately, we started the challenge on the right foot. $26,000 to $260,000 challenge. I don't have a timeline on when I'm going to complete it. The goal is to complete it by the end of the year. And hopefully we do that before that. Now, I can back everything up with real tickets. Team, want to show you guys my Novig app. $27,000 in the account. Give you guys every single play, tickets, and I show you guys every result, guys. Every single result, unlike 99% of this industry. And along with that, too, I'm doing one big special for you guys today. With promo code RETURN, you guys get the month pass and get every single play for $185, as you guys can see right here. And you can pay as little as $60 per month with the payment plan that Winnable presents for you guys. With that said, let's get to the money. Let's get to the playoffs, and let's get to the winners. First game I'm going to cover, Miami versus Ole Miss. Quite the surprise, both these teams to be in this spot. Miami, 9.5-point underdog. Ole Miss, 6.5-point underdog. And they both won outright as dogs. Miami opened up as a -3 favorite. Some books have it at -2.5. And by some books, I mean the Hard Rock. Majority of the books do have it at -3 right now. Money and support is going more to Miami right now. 52% of the bets, 64% of the handle on the money line, 42% of the bets, and 58% of the handle. And the line's hovering between 2.5 and -3. We want to pay attention where that line ends and where the money and support is come game day, which is next week on Thursday. When we look at the strength of schedule, there is a gap here. UM 16th compared to Ole Miss at 34th. When we look at the defense, there's a big gap in the power ranking. Second compared to 43rd. Offensively, Ole Miss competes, but Miami still has a better offense based on PFF. EPA per run, an area where Miami leads, not by much, but they do lead. EPA per pass, an area where Ole Miss leads. Now remember, Ole Miss has had a little bit of an easier schedule coming into this game. When we look at the season stats, yards per game, an area where Ole Miss leads. The stats that matter, the ones that we want to pay attention to that every coach talks about. Third down conversion and red zone efficiency, both offensively and defensively. An area where Miami leads in both categories. On the offensive side, third down conversion percentage, 45 compared to 43. Not a big gap, but once you factor in strength of schedule, the gap gets larger. On red zone scoring percentage, another area where Miami leads. 90% compared to 85%. That's going to be big time come game day, especially in this type of matchup. On the defensive side of things, they also lead in both those categories. On the opposition red zone scoring percentage, an area where the gap is quite big, 79 compared to 88%. And turnover margin, another area where Miami leads. Miami has faced a tougher schedule coming into this game. Playoff-wise, they played in Texas A&M, the largest crowd in football, college football at least. And along with that too, they faced Ohio State, the favorite to win it all, and they took them down. I do like Miami in this spot. I like them on the money line. I'm not going to play with the spread here. I like them to win. But the second game that I'm going to cover here for you guys is the best play of the day and the semifinal. So let's get to that game. Game number 2, Oregon versus Indiana. Indiana just whooped Bama's ass. Now, to me, the victory is impressive, but at the same time, not impressive. I personally did not believe that Alabama should have made the playoffs. They made it. I think Notre Dame would have been a better pick for the College Playoffs Committee. Now, this line opened up in favor of Indiana at -4, and it's sitting at -4, -3.5 in majority of the books. With money and support right now, I bet you can guess who's getting it. Indiana. 83% of the bets, 88% of the handle on the money line, 74% of the bets, and 67% of the handle. Now, of course, Indiana looks great, but this is ultimately, to me, a sell high spot. Oregon just went and beat Texas Tech 23-0. A team that defensively stands out, offensively not the best, not an Indiana team, but nonetheless, to give them a 0 on the board is very impressive. Now, this is a rematch. If you guys didn't know, Indiana went to Oregon and beat them 20-30, 30-20. That is a spot where Oregon's going to remember, and there's a revenge spot for their coach and this team that's quite good. When we look at the strength of schedule, Oregon 21st, Indiana 37th. EPA per run, 0.17 compared to 0.15 in favor of Oregon. EPA per pass, Indiana leads on majority of the schools. 0.43 compared to 0.21, and they're very well coached. When we look at the stats here, yard per game, Oregon leads. Third down conversion and red zone scoring on the offensive and defensive side, Indiana leads. Third down conversion offensively, a very big gap. And then the red zone scoring percentage, a very big gap as well. Opposition red zone scoring percentage defensively, a big gap as well, 6%. And on the opposition red zone scoring percentage, along with that too, Indiana leads by a big gap here, team. Now, strength of schedule, Oregon leads. Indiana has had it a little bit easier, but ultimately Indiana's been very impressive the entire season. Now, we're getting 3.5, 4.5 points in this game. I like Oregon in this spot with points. With points. Listen closely. I like it at 6.5 minus 145. I don't need to buy it to 7. I believe this game is going to be a 7-point victory by Indiana or less, or an Oregon victory. I think Oregon's going to come out motivated as a revenge spot after they just lost earlier this season at home to this team. Indiana, to me, is in danger in the spot, and I do like Oregon for this game, guys. So that is it for the semifinals for college football team. Remember, the final plays will be posted closer to game time once we see the injury report, once we see the line movement, and once we see the final money percentage, guys. So that is it for today. Let's win the day. Share the show, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.